Military is carrying out strikes with fighter jets and Tomahawk missiles on Yemen. Their target, Iranian-backed militia Houthis. And these strikes come after an emergency cabinet meeting in the United Kingdom, America's closest ally. To be clear, these strikes in the Middle East are very significant. The United States is now finally taking action, and it could change the Israel-Hamas war into something much bigger. The Houthis have been relentlessly attacking ships in the Red Sea since November. Reports today of another attack, the 27th by the group in the area under 2 months, according to the Pentagon. Now, the Houthis are already vowing to retaliate to any strikes. A senior member moments ago saying, and I quote, "We will confront America, make it kneel down and burn its battleships and all its bases and everyone who cooperates with it, no matter the cost." The United States striking the middle.
Live pictures for you there of massive protests. This is in Yemen's capital of Sana'a, happening right now. This morning, Houthi rebels vowing to respond after the U.S. and U.K. strikes overnight, saying their forces will not hesitate to targets on land and sea to defend Yemen. Now, the U.S., for its part, is downplaying fears that these strikes overnight against the Iran-backed militias in Yemen could lead to a wider war in the Middle East. A Houthi military spokesperson says the U.S. and U.K. strikes killed 5 people and injured 6 others.
Last night, the U.S. struck over 60 targets in Yemen at 16 locations. They used over 100 precision-guided bombs and missiles, 15 F-18 Super Hornets from the USS Eisenhower, and 4 Royal Air Force Typhoons from Cyprus were used in the operation. Russia has condemned the operation, has called for an urgent UN Security Council meeting. But notably, Russia abstained from a Security Council vote yesterday that called on the Houthis to stop, which is interesting because they could have vetoed it. Meanwhile, Erdogan says that the U.S. and U.K. are trying to turn the Red Sea into a sea of blood, and it appears the Houthis have gone back to attacking ships again, with the U.K. reporting an incident on a commercial vessel off the coast of Yemen today.
The importance of the Red Sea cannot be denied. You have 15% of the global seaborne trade that passes through here. And if you look down here, this is the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is an absolutely critical narrow area that ships go through into the Red Sea and then up to the Suez Canal. There were more than a dozen strikes across Yemen from north to south, across a variety of targets. We're learning more and more by the minute, really, of what these targets were. But they were at least in 5 different locations, if not more, in and around the capital of Sana'a, over here on the western coast of Yemen in Al Hudaydah, and then in several other locations up and down this north-south axis in Yemen. The importance of the Red
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson off by giving all honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Kazak, Tezabah, coming at you once again through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right, so as you see in the opening clips, the opening videos of what just took place, okay, over there in the Middle East, or what's considered, Asia, okay, the western portions of Asia, the Arabian countries, Saudi Arabia, all right, the Ishmaelites, okay. And America just launched and did a strike over there on a Yemen, military installations, airports, and things of that nature. Now, this is going to cause a lot of tension, okay? This is what's going to cause a lot of people, all right, to revolt, okay, and try to get their revenge, all right? If you notice in this live video here, it says thousands protest in Yemen's capital after U.S.-UK airstrike, all right? So with this being done, okay, this is in Yemen. What about the people that are here, that are infiltrating the gates and the borders of Babylon the Great. Okay, this could be the scenario that's playing out that will allow or will cause people to revolt, okay, and to strike and target, certain places in America, okay? Because look at what happened back in when the whole, Hamas and Israel situation. There was protests and riots, going on throughout Babylon the Great, man. Okay, and don't think for a second that that's a thing of the past. All right, those people who were affected, all right, if they got family there, if they got loved ones, hey, those that stuff is fairly fresh, man. Okay, that was only a couple months ago that happened. I want to say back in October. Okay, so things are ramping up, man. The point of the matter is things are ramping up expeditiously. All right. And this is the Lord at work, man. And this is a beautiful thing that we're witnessing. You see, the Lord is put in the spirit because, hey, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is a man of war, man. Okay. He is a man of war. It's war throughout all our history, throughout the entire scripture. All right. Nations coming up against us, us overcoming nations, taking their land, so on and so forth. So this is nothing new, man. But we're coming into a time in which the Lord is gathering up these heathens, man, to fight, to fulfill prophecy, to bring them to the valley of decision, which is exactly where that area is, man. All right. So let's jump right on into it, man. Let's get it. Let's get the book of Joel. The book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, and I will start at verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." Okay, these Gentiles, these other nations, these mighty men. You got Russia, all right. The Yemen, okay, they're backed and supported by Iran, which is also a part of the BRICS nations. Okay, so with this act
Last night, the
done,
U.S. struck over 60 targets in Yemen at 16 locations. They used over 100 precision-guided bombs and missiles. 15 F-18 Super Hornets from the USS Eisenhower and 4 Royal Air Force Typhoons from Cyprus were used in the operation. Russia has condemned the operation, has called for an urgent UN Security Council meeting. But notably, Russia abstained from a Security Council vote yesterday that called on the Houthis to stop, which is interesting because they could have vetoed it. Meanwhile, Erdogan says that the US and UK are trying to turn the Red Sea into a sea of blood, and it appears the Houthis have gone back to attacking ships again, with the UK reporting an incident on a commercial vessel off the coast of Yemen today. So follow to stay in the loop. Last night,
The importance.
So Iran, all right, is a nation that supports Yemen and that region. Okay. So what does that do? That brings in the BRICS nations. All right. You're talking about Brazil, you're talking about Russia. All right, you're talking about, well, let's just speak on the nations that are over there in that region. For instance, Russia, Iran, okay, China. You see, you even got South Africa right, not too far from there. It ain't nothing but a boat ride away. Okay, but and don't lose sight of the fact that China is still gearing up, preparing for overtaking Taiwan, okay, which will also draw in the U.S., UK, the NATO countries, all right, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, you see, the European Union, all right, So all this is happening right now is the Lord, bringing the mighty men, okay, preparing them for war. Let's read it again. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Okay. Now your plowshares, your pruning hooks, those are gardening instruments, but this is a metaphor in a sense that, in other words, drop what you're doing, okay, and prepare and get ready. All right. Your gardening, your plowshares, your pruning hooks, your things to, to conduct business or work, harvesting, just living out your day to day, your normal life, right? But it says plow or beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Those are war instruments, ancient war instruments. Okay. So in other words, drop what you're doing and get ready for the battle. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, okay, Yahweh's judgment. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, so the Lord is about to get ready to judge these heathens, man. So this is all leading up to a major prophecy, which is World War III. Okay, World War III is in effect. All right. Now we was in the beginning stages of it with, the Russia, Ukraine situation, the talks of the China, Taiwan scenario, the Israel, Gaza Strip, the Hamas, Hezbollah, you see. And now America and the UK are striking, that region, you see. It's war. It's a war like spirit in the air, man. All right. So this is a beautiful prophecy in which we're witnessing. This is the book of Zephaniah, the first chapter 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry bitterly. Okay. The mighty men shall cry bitterly because the day of the Lord is going to be like no other. All right. When those countries are fighting against each other in that region. OK, you're going to have, certain groups coming together. All right. And then they're going to try Yahweh Shai is going to make his debut. All right. You know what? And then through the Spirit, I think I'm going to entitle this lesson. Yahweh Shai is about to make his debut very soon. OK, because this prophecy is a major one, because with all these heathens and the nations being brought together in the valley of decision. All right. Where the Lord will have his way. OK, when they try to fight against him. All right. Hey, it's going to be a dreadful day for them, man. It says, verse 15, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. You see, that's what's coming primarily to the nation of Babylon. All right. But to these other countries and other nations as well. But primarily Babylon the Great is going to get it the worst. All right. It says, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. All right. So I want to get a prophecy in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, around the 28th verse. And it reads, behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. Okay. Who is the nations of the dragons of Arabia? You're talking about those Middle Eastern countries, the Ishmaelites. All right. The Saudis. Okay. The UAE, the Emirates. Okay. Iran. All right. All those other nations that are in that region. Okay. And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay. Ishmael is a wild man. Okay. Ishmael is crazy. Let's just speak plainly. All right. I think that they have a annual thing where they go about, I forget exactly what country it is, but they go about with machetes and knives and swords and things like that. And they go and slash their heads, cut themselves, slapping the machetes to their back, their heads. And it's like a blood festival. They're wild, man. They're crazy. So there's no limitations to what these Ishmaelites will do. They will go to great lengths to straight up destroy, all right, these these Edomites, these Babylonians, these modern day Egyptians. Okay? They will go to great lengths. All right? You don't think they have them already here in America? You're sadly mistaken, man. You're sadly mistaken if you don't believe that for one second that these Ishmaelites don't have their own people here ready to act alongside with those Moabites. Okay? Reading on, it says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay. You got those other countries, they're all relatively the same people, but different. They're different in a sense. You got the leaders of Hezbollah. Okay. You got the Hamas, the Houthis. All right. You got all these different little militant sects of Ishmaelites. Okay. These Arabians that are going to come together. All right. And they're going to be in unity to try to attack and try to come against Babylon. It says, verse 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand. Remember their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be trouble bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. All right. Remembering their nature. Hey, Ishmael is a wild man. He's crazy. It says, verse 33, in the land from the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and their host shall fear and dread and strife among their kings. Okay, but the point of the matter is, verse 30, okay, they're going to join in battle. All right. They're going to join in battle, and they're going to, coincide and rub elbows with these other nations. All right. And they have all one motive. All of the same motive, which is what? Is to destroy America. That's their motive. You see? And no one else is talking about this, okay, other than, the prophets of the Lord. All right? Now we know the end of all of this. Okay? We know the prophecy. But you think the people that are the politicians, these news anchors and, these senators and people of Congress, you think they know the prophecies? They're basing everything off of face value and what's going on with politics and, things of that nature. But they don't know the sequence in which it's going to take place. Whereas we're filtering them through the scriptures and we seeing it for what they are and, lining things up because the Lord showed it to us. What does Isaiah, the 42nd chapter, say in the 9th verse? Before the Lord does anything, what he reveals it to us. That's as similar as same with Amos the 3rd chapter. I don't want to butcher that one, Isaiah. Let me just get it. Isaiah chapter 42 and 9, it says, "Behold, the former things that are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." Okay? And the Lord is telling us exactly what's happening in the earth through the Spirit. Okay? Through the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. All right? Because going back to this video, and I'm going to play this again.
Of the Red Sea cannot be denied. You have 15% of the global seaborne trade that passes through here. And if you look down here, this is the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is an absolutely critical narrow area that ships go through into the Red Sea and then up to the Suez Canal. There were more than a dozen strikes across Yemen from north to south, across a variety of targets. We're learning more and more by the minute, really, of what these targets were, but they were at least in 5 different locations, if not more, in and around the capital of Sana'a, over here on the western coast of Yemen in Al-Hudaida, and then in several other locations up and down this north-south axis in Yemen. The importance of the Red
So as you see here, the importance of the Red Sea is has to do with a lot of trade. Okay? You see the Red Sea, all right, which, through history, we have a long history over there in that area. OK, 40 years. All right. When we were in the wilderness and we to flee out of Egypt, what do? We had to cross the Red Sea. But the point of the matter is that, he said that 15% of trade is conducted through the Red Sea. All right. And you see where the strike happened. You see the area that's being attacked. OK, that's going to stop a lot of trade. So therefore, a lot of people are going to, or a lot of ships and a lot of shipping ships and, a lot of trade is going to go around, around through the Indian Ocean, around the, around the Horn of Africa, down south around Africa, and, coming up through the Atlantic. But that's going to cause a lot of inflation to happen, okay? Because the price of oil, because, hey, once again, remember the BRICS currency in Iran and Saudi Arabia and all those countries are their main resource is oil, okay? They possess the majority of the world's oil industry, okay? So for one, they're gonna cut it off. Now, we still have oil in America and other parts in the West, but the majority of it comes from over there. That's why they're so rich. That's why they have so much wealth, because of the oil, and that's where they those are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Dubai. What is another one? Dubai. I can't remember the other countries or whatever, but Bahrain and all those different places, you know, they're going to cut the oil supply off to the West. All right. And also them conducting, business with the BRICS nations, doing trades and stuff with their currency, no longer with the US dollar. Okay. So, hey, man, super inflation is about to happen. Hyperinflation is about to take place. Okay. To the point where you're going to be working. Okay. And your wages aren't going to amount to what it's going to cost to maintain or sustain, the lifestyle that you're used to. Food, your groceries, okay, your gas to be able to get to work. All right. Your necessities. All right. It's going to be limited. And that's prophecy, man. Okay. So let me get, 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Let's go back to Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. And it reads, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right. Because things are decently priced right now. Yeah, it's high, but it's not to the extent that it's going to be within the next few weeks, few months. OK, things are about to go through the roof. And their little, your little savings account, it's going to get depleted. All right. That's why it's so important to have the trust in the Lord, man. Because what does Isaiah the 65th chapter say? Right. It says, my servant shall eat, but you should be hungry. My servant shall drink, but you should be thirsty. OK, because we have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore, he's going to he's going to take care of us. OK, he's going to take care of his servants, of his people. All right. But a lot of these other people, OK, who rejected the Lord, and maybe not verbally, but through their actions, OK, are going to get it. They're going to feel it, and it will be detrimental to them. OK, it says, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. People are going to be confused when martial law, the elder brother, Amawan Gabar, he did a beautiful lesson about his dream of, martial law. Okay, where it says in his dream, it was said that, this is the confusion part. When there's going to be troops out there and people aren't going to know what's going on. You think people are paying attention to the migration situation? You think they're paying attention to what's going on over there in Yemen right now? You think people are paying attention to, China gearing up ready for war, North Korea? All right. The oil trade, the trade route, the main trade route is about to get cut off. So things about to get really expensive. Okay. And ultimately them trying to enforce the charagma at the end of the day. That's going to cause great confusion upon these Babylonians, man. They're not going to know what hit them. It says, For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right, whether it's getting drafted, caught up in Esau's war, all right, being taken over there to the Middle East, okay, because you got a lot of people here that, there's going to be incentives, they're going to try to monetarily incentivize people to join the military, all right, to where it's going to be so expensive. Hey, you can eat. We got food. You got a steady income. We'll give it to you. You come join and come fight for us, And people are going to be with the level of pride that people have for their country. People are going to be jumping right to it, man. You know, but they're going to get caught up in that and they're going to get put to death. All right. Let's get Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny." All right. And a measure of wheat for a penny is equivalent to a day's wages. All right. So you, however many times, you work. All right. Calculate the hours. All right. It comes down to, anywhere from, if you get paid every 2 weeks. All right. Let's just say, you work 5 days a week. All right. I don't know. Just do the math. Everybody has different incomes, but 1 day's wages of work, okay, will cost the amount of what it is for bread, okay, for eggs, water, toilet paper, your necessities. You think people are going to be prepared for that? Nah, man. It says, "And 3 measures of wheat, barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him." Who was that talking about? Esau. Okay? It's talking about Esau. When he tries to, he goes about with his deception, his lies, his blood craving, desires, Esau just likes to kill, man. You see? But what does the scripture says? It says that he is as death. Okay? And in the book of Corinthians, all right, it talks about, that I want to say here, I got to pull out my sword. 2 Corinthians, I'm going to come back to Revelation, or Salakia, 1 Corinthians chapter 15 in verse 24 reads, "Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and authority, for he must reign till he hath put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death." Okay? The last enemy is who? It's referring to Esau, man. Okay? Going back to Revelation chapter 6 and verse 8. "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." You see? And that's going to take place, man. When inflation is through the roof, then they try to get you to, hey, you take this CHIP, you take the Karagma, we'll put on some digital money on your account. Therefore, that way you can feed your family. And people are going to be hopping in line just to take that CHIP, just to take the MOTB so they can eat. You see? And that's how they're going to get people, and then they're going to try to come down with that wrath, man. So, hey, man, things are speeding up greatly. And we only not even a full 2 weeks in, 12 days in right now. And things are already at where it's at. And it's only going to intensify and increase as weeks, months go by. All right. So pay attention, keep your eyes open, keep your head on the swivel. All right. Hey, we living in some exciting times. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And until next time, Shalom.